when I interact with persons with disabilities, their interests are often very niche, so I learn a lot of things from them.
I think it's interesting to find out more about their perspective and how they see like the world in their own like lens.
So I had a conversation with a person with autism, and I really got to hear her takes when it comes to film and like the films that she likes. And I realized that a lot of her opinions can be quite controversial. So I think that it is pretty genuine because she got to voice out her opinion.
They really cared for me and they asked questions like how I've been doing, which it was quite unexpected lah, but I thought that was quite genuine to me.
During my volunteering, I was like playing with him. The child was very, very affectionate. Playing with like different toys and also like having conversations with different people, even though he haven't really met them before.
I think they chill, bro. Like, like I'm able to have a proper conversation with them, but whether it's very fruitful or not, I think it's dependent on what I talk about.
I feel like they're also actually just like normal people lor.
I think you gotta define it like what do you mean by equal opportunities, cause they have different learning curves, so then the opportunities would be different. So what do you mean by equal?
I think like some individuals who have like disabilities, I think they are pretty like high functioning. Yeah, they can actually like handle like the the syllabus of like what a normal person would be exposed to, and so hence like I think they should have like the chance. And the way they speak is like it sometimes can be like kind of confusing, and hence like I think it can be very awkward for me.
In my own interactions with them, I think you start to get comfortable with them, and then actually you'll notice that there's actually not really that much difference lor, between us and them. So it's a bit awkward at first, but then sooner or later it feels more comfortable lah.
I don't think like I had an opportunity to interact with someone with like PWD, so I would say like I can't really like determine whether like I'll be super comfortable or like uncomfortable with them.
I agree cause like Singapore is like doing stuff to help like people with disabilities, but I don't strongly agree like it's to an extent, but I think it can be improved. Okay. I think the government has made like a lot of initiatives to help people with disabilities, to help them like with their daily life, and also there's like a lot of like groups out there like organizations or like even individuals that are like caring for these like people. I think like in terms of like the action wise, I think Singapore's still doing quite good, but individually I think there still needs to be like people still need to like be educated on like their understanding.
I think that not everyone would like approach someone with approach PWDs first to strike out a conversation. Like I think most of the time when Singaporeans interact with PWDs is like majority of the time is always like through volunteering, yeah, or like school VIAs and stuff like that.
There is a level of acceptance, but not really much of a level of understanding. Like even now, when I see our different responses, I realize that we might kind of like briefly understand it, but not to a level of inclusivity.
I do sometimes see stairs in the MRT or like in a bus, public transport, right? Yeah, I mean I don't know what's the intention, but I think sometimes they can be slightly noisy or whatsoever. Yeah, I guess like there can be stairs and all, and it's quite mean.
I think to some extent the Singapore government in itself has done things to include people with disabilities. but I think that our society itself has not really done the same. Lor.
In fact, I think I came across like a video on Instagram where I saw like two people with disabilities that started a company that really impacted Singapore.
I think like persons with disabilities are like normal humans, right? So like everyone has like their special skill sets and like can contribute like positively to like our society, like even like in their own ways. It doesn't have to be like a way that like a person without disability contributes. Like it could be like in their own special way. Yeah.
Like sometimes when I go out and eat, like especially at like fast food restaurants or like in eateries, sometimes I see like the staff there are like people with special needs, and yeah, I think it shows that, you know, despite them having like some form of like disabilities, they're still able to like find a job and, you know, be able to like sustain themselves and, you know, yeah, and like serve society in like their own ways. Yeah.
Because I haven't had as much interactions with these sort of people, that it might be a bit hard for me to adjust at first. Lor. Yeah, but it's not that I would go out of my way to ostracize them. Yeah, it's just that personally I would feel a bit unnatural. Yeah.
And like although I don't have like personal experience, but like I don't mind like helping them. Yeah. And I don't want to like discriminate them also.
I think even though their needs may be slightly different, and even though they might think slightly differently, but I think this uh, is also applicable to everyone. So as long as I adjust accordingly, then it'll be good.
I think for people with disability also you have to be sensitive to them, and that's why I feel like I'm neutral, not like very comfortable, but also not that is that I don't want them to be part of be in my class. Yeah.
I think interacting with them in VIA in schools has been quite enjoyable.
I think for me, just now I mentioned that I was working with a child with autism, and I think in the few weeks that I was like taking care of him, like he would have meltdowns, and then while he's playing with his toys, he will like throw it at me. Yeah, like sometimes during his meltdowns, he gets really aggressive. Yeah, and sometimes violent also.
Personally, like having experienced like a friendship with someone with autism, I think it's quite tough. And I remember one point where he couldn't understand what I was talking about, and we had a lot of misunderstanding, and that actually brought a lot of hurt to me.
I would say like I agree with the statement, cause on the MRTs when I see like people with PWDs, like there's some like passengers on that like commuters who are like acting a bit hostile towards them, and then they also like side eye them a bit.
Because my cousin's autistic. Like when they like start acting out, cause they can't control like their behavior. Like I feel like people tend to like stare at us, cause they find it weird. Yeah, and like maybe like I also feel like after they stare, they can kind of like make like comments. Yeah, and it's like very like it makes us like feel very like embarrassed. Yeah, so like yeah.
I think most people my age look down on people with special needs. Wow. Okay.
I think personally, like I don't really have a lot of encounters with like people with special needs, and I don't really have encounters where like my friends are also like interacting with people with special needs. So I haven't really seen anybody like look down on them.
I think like looking down is not really something that I see my friends or like the people around me doing. I think it's more of like being like ignorant or like the lack of understanding.
I think that there are people my age who do like crack jokes about people with disabilities, but I don't think that they have openly looked down on them. Yeah. I think knowing these people and knowing the jokes that they make and knowing how this is just who they are, that they make jokes about people regardless if they have a disability or not.
I think I agree with Ansel, and even in my school groups, I think if even if I have an autistic classmate and let's say my classmates were to like joke around with him, I don't think it's meant directly, because even in my friend groups, I think that casual joking around, like, it may sound very hurtful or not, but to us we know our boundaries and limits, and I think that with this and knowing my friends and their personalities, I think that if an individual who suffers from autism or some other illnesses on the spectrum or disabilities, I think we will not uh, hesitate to help out, like if they show any form of weakness or they require assistance or help.
I guess you could say like the neuro aspect of it in terms of like maybe the way they think. Yeah, I don't really understand like how they struggle in that. But I mean, I do know they struggle in that sense, but I just don't understand it. Yeah.
I really think that it's very hard to understand them, especially because if we think we do, then it's probably from a different perspective and not what they truly feel like they are.
I think there might be some things that we deem as like easy or like a very simple task to do, but for them it might be like a very hard challenge. And I think but I think that even though like there's a difference with how we might encounter these challenges or like how they overcome it as well, I think like I understand what they're going through on the emotional aspect, like per se, that being discriminated upon being discriminated by other people isn't like a very good feeling. And I think like I think I can somewhat put myself into their shoes on that aspect. Yeah.
My parents or like my cousin's parents have like tried to explain to me and like somewhat understand like from their perspective like how like they may not be able to like fully process like everything. And also like what Ruth said, like the feeling of being discriminated is something that um I think like I also like resonate with them. Yeah. I don't like live with them like in my daily life. I only see them like after like a few months. So like it's usually like I listen my parents what they like ask me to do. So like if I'm like alone with them, I don't have like a full confidence that I'll be able to like take care of them.
I think for me is the same, like what they share as well lah. Like when they have these sort of emotional outbreaks or outbursts, and then when they require the support, I think I also wouldn't really know how to handle that as well lah.
Yeah, I think in retrospect, over the years, I've been able to speak to more people with like persons with disabilities, specifically special need kids, like people struggling with maybe like autism or Down syndrome or dyslexia. So I think that I have, and I'm more confident. I think just based on the experience. Yeah.